Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
Well, just like it said on the screen, it's the BECU Figure 8 Nationals here this afternoon on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Glad to have you in with us. My name is Caleb Hart. Derek Todoroff, the maestro of the Figure 8 machines. Welcome into the show, buddy. We are in for some fun. It is your bread and butter Figure 8s for 3 of our 5 main events tonight for the Figure 8 Nationals.
Oh, this is the show. This is what I live for out here tonight, BCU Figure 8 Nationals. I adore Figure 8 action. We've got a lot of it coming to you on tonight's program. Leading them off, the Bosun Steakhouse Stinger 8s, and leading the way in the Rep and Welding and Rail number 46 out of Marysville, that's Mike Hathaway, alongside the 202 of Kyle Shukar.
Second row is Peyton Hopp, 16 out of Snohomish Cut Shop of Woodinville, his sponsor. 15R is Gary Reardon, unsponsored, at least as far as we know. Row behind him, Cody Hoops out of Marysville in the JBR car, and the 717 of Diesel Snyder out of Clay Elm, sponsored by Handy in the Valley.
Kia of Everett on board the 43 of Damon Claiborne. He's from Snohomish. Gold Bar native number 20, sponsored by DL Enterprises, Riley Rudell. 21 machine of Matt Somerville out of Monroe, sponsored by Airport Welding and Muffler. And the 151 out of Arlington, sponsored by All Ply Roofing LLC, is Cody Weldon.
So we'll have 10 going around for a whole bunch of laps for a whole bunch of money, but more importantly for them, glory and title, as Figure 8 Nationals only runs once a year. And for our Stinger 8 division, this has been as competitive of class as we have seen out there, and something wild almost assuredly always happens.
I mean, that's the promise of Stinger 8 racing. Doesn't matter how many cars are on track, they'll always do their best to put on a show for you. Inexperienced drivers, longtime veterans of competition, the perfect blend, so to say.
Got to thank All Play Roofing. They are our show sponsor here on Home Track Heroes. Haven't seen a whole lot of Kyle Shukar this year, but the 202 is out there and ready to go. We've seen Mike Hathaway, and Hathaway very familiar with running out in front of the field and setting early pace for races like this. So we'll come off the corner. Through we go, little door jam, and off and running here for the Stinger 8s, the Bosun Steakhouse Stinger 8s, and their Figure 8 Nationals. Green flag is out, and Shukar can have the early advantage.
Hathaway drifts real wide there through that first corner. It's going to allow the 16 to almost get by. He gets tagged by the 46. Some more door-to-door action as they're 3 wide through the North Pole. Coming across the line, everyone's still in pursuit of Kyle Shukar. Hathaway and Hopp right now battling for second. Hathaway falls back, giving Hopp the spot.
It was Reardon and Hathaway kind of making a Peyton Hopp sandwich, but Hopp scooting his way through 50-lap distance here in the main events on the Figure 8. So it's a long one, and these drivers need to settle in and take care of their equipment over the course of this. You know, all of the cornering and all of the physicality means that you really got to protect yourself and make sure that the car can make all 50 laps to finish first. One must, first finish.
Take care of the equipment, you say, as the 16 gets the right rear bumper ripped off. You can see the damage here from this view of the camera. That bumper cover been torn off with some contact in the North Pole area.
You know, this one also a little unique to us with the 50-lapper coming up here, Derek. The big cars will go long distances once in a while. In fact, we've put them on for 40 at times, but for what we're seeing here, I imagine all these drivers have filled up the fuel cell to maximum capacity just in case we get a number of pace laps here, and that's going to alter the handling of the race car, especially in the early stages, because that's a bunch of additional weight with all of that fuel packed in the back of it.
And for some of these drivers, if they're young, if this is their first season in Figure 8 or Stinger 8 competition, they might never have felt that before. Take a driver like Diesel Snyder. It's his first season, rookie year in the Stinger 8s. He's being pursued by the number 10 of Cody Weldon, who's a 3-time Stinger 8 champion. So you can imagine he's got a little more experience on this regard.
As you're taking a look, that is the battle that is in the center of your screen right now, the 717 of Snyder. Look out, Kyle Shukar, Cody Weldon. Yee-haw through the intersection, but we know Weldon is never going to lift. Everybody had to take evasive action, and that puts third place up for bid here. Snyder and Cody Hoops, and Hoops leaning on him. We'll move him out of the way, and we'll take third.
And Hoops goes up. Claiborne follows him up a spot, although the 717 not going to let Damon get away with it too easily. Onwards we go. A little bit of bumping. That's It's the way Stingray racing is.
Right, and at the same time, we were just starting to talk about Snyder before that intersection happened. Look out. Cody Weldon doing everything he can to try to make this a little more lively. Snyder needs to know this is a 50-lapper. You've got a long time that if a boo-boo happens, you can make up for it later on in this race. Just got to keep your head on your shoulders.
100%. To see Hop now, he's under a lot of pressure from Hoops and Claiborne. He's poked the nose to the inside of Shoe Car. Now he's going to have the high groove going into the right-hand or the South Pole turn. Hoops bumper on the back of the 202. But Hop not giving up, keeps the nose there. He's still going to be in position. No, not quite, when they lunge into the north corner.
And they're coming up on the 151 as well. Slower traffic is going to be a factor here. This is the Brandy Hood Promotions shot from in-car of Damon Claiborne, who says, hey, let's go 2x2. Is Peyton Hop getting the bad end of it there? He will shuffle back to second, coming out of the right-hand corner.
Whoa, Weldon and Shoe Car made some contacts on the left side of your screen. Claiborne giving a big shot to the back of Hop on the right side.
Look at that. They're stacked up 3 deep with the slower traffic of the 151 of Weldon, and that's going to allow Diesel Snyder to pick up a spot again, and maybe, too, if he could keep the nose inside of Hop. Couldn't quite do it. Shoe Car still leading. Cody Hoops is very aggressive out there, but he's getting it back, too, and everything that he's given out as Hop gives him a shot in the shorts.
Here they go, side by side into the South Pole. Hoops drifts back, but keeps the car right there on the left rear. Hop not making a move on the 10. Not this time, at least, is now Claiborne trying the high side against the number 16.
Wow, look at that. They're wrestling back and forth, and there's the move. Cody Hoops going to take over the lead 13 laps into this, and 37 to go. Shoe Car will follow back to second. Almost looked like he took a run at the bumper of Hoops there getting into the corner. Pushes wide. That's going to cost him second and third.
And made a little bit of contact with the number 16, but not sure he cares. They're going to go door-to-door now for the battle for fourth, the 202 and the 717. So 3-digit numbers going to war here in the top 5.
And we've brought even more to the party to play as Riley Riddell and Matt Somerville now have found their way into this freight train rolling around the South Pole, the right-hand set of corners. They go towards the left-hand turns, these ones right here, and the North Pole, as we call it. So if you hear us talking about that, that's what's going on. Meanwhile, spot up in front, Damon Claiborne has just snuck by Peyton Hop, and Claiborne's got position 2.
Yeah, that 16 not giving up, though. Bright orange versus the various blues.
It's Seahawk blues. Is it? The blue is. The dark blue. The other is more of a rave. It's that rave teal green. It's almost Sounders-esque. Okay, not really. I give up. We keep working their way through. We know me and colors are not a thing.
Yeah, that's fair. We had the well-known argument about what bus was red last year on 4th of July.
Yeah, we don't need to replay that one. We do have a really good race for second going on, though, and they are closing in on Cody Hoops. Hoops is now having to work on Mike Hathaway, so slower traffic playing a factor here. 17 laps into this.
Oh, door-to-door contact.
Oh, and there's opportunity for Claiborne. They're 3 wide, and here comes Peyton Hop. He's going to sneak second back away.
Opportunity for Claiborne turns into the big chance for Hop. Hop now within striking distance of the number 10. Is that number 16, Hop, happy to be back behind the wheel of the cut shop of Woodinville's orange 16 instead of the backup car we've seen him run recently.
Well, it is moving and handling really, really well here. I can't say it's early in the day. We're in the midway portion here of this main event. He is a car length back of Cody Hoops. You mentioned Hoops, what, 3-time figure 8 national winner in the state
contact in the intersection.
Big time smasheroo, as that is Shoe Car up with a bunch of smoke and steam.
Yeah, he does not let off the gas, and he will continue on. Wow. Not every day you see an intersection hit that doesn't bring out the yellow.
Kyle Shoe Car takes a licking and keeps on ticking, baby. As we're going to go in car with Hop, as he is right in behind Hoops looking for room to get by him.
When you see Hoops making that daring choice, slotting right behind Gary Reardon. Now, we've talked about the 151 who you see gunning his way through the intersection right now versus some of these other cars. Some drivers will tell you they prefer the people who always go through the intersection because they always know what's about to happen. It's Hop making the move to the inside.
Oh, bad decision. Cody Hoops, beneficiary. Peyton Hop, new race leader, 22 laps into this. as we've got 28 to go, and just before halfway, Peyton Hop's got the top spot. Damon Claiborne grabs second in that move.
Well, Claiborne stuck right to the back bumper of Hop so far. Don't expect that to change anytime soon as we continue to tick down the laps. A long one here at BCU Figure 8 Nationals. Bit of a war of attrition.
That'll happen with the Stinger 8s, right? We've seen them at that intersection. That's not the first big blast in the intersection that we've seen over the course of this year. It is Peyton Hop.
Oh, we got a replay here.
Race leader. As here is your replay coming from the right-hand screen, and there's the shot. Not nearly as violent as I thought it was going to be. Got a chunk of him, but not more than body panel work, because Shukar's still out there running hard.
I don't know. I think you might have tagged the wheel the way that wheel looks bent now.
Has it got a weeble and a wobble to it?
More like it's doing a sun salutation facing up towards the sky.
So Hop, Claiborne, and Hoops halfway, 25 down, 25 to go. Mike Hathaway had a intersection if he wanted it there, but opted to not choose violence this time by, and that's okay. Weldon will gas her through. Lead pack makes their way by.
Ooh.
As, wow, look at the counter steer going into the wheel to try to hang on to her. Hop, Claiborne, and Hoops still 1, 2, and 3.
This is a dangerous top three. All these drivers have shown themselves to be threats all season long. They still got a lot of time to crown a winner.
23 laps left to go as Claiborne's gonna loop outside, try to beat Hop to the inside, and that's not gonna work. Hoops goes outside in the 10 car on Claiborne, see if he can gain a lane. Nothing yet. Claiborne again gonna try to set up that run here through the right-hand corner, but it's not there. However, he will have preferred line going to the inside here on the left, and that should keep Hoops back from him, at least for now.
I think they're making some door-to-door contact a couple times through both corners there. But for now, it's Hop, Claiborne, Hoops, still your top three. Somerville and Snyder in pursuit. There they are.
Yeah, look out. And now slower traffic again rears its head as Hoops has to take the scenic route to go long around Hathaway and Raritan. That'll drop him back as Claiborne finally getting a better run to the outside of Hop here. If he can carry it and stay on the corner panel through the intersection, would have a chance, but couldn't quite do it yet.
This is a difficult one. You see that 16 very loose through these corners, needing to counter steer quite a bit. But he's making it work. That's the impressive work from Peyton Hop so far. Here's Cody Weldon. They're going to need to put a lap on him.
Weldon forcing Hop to jump out of order. There goes Claiborne. They'll bounce Weldon around. Claiborne trying to square the turn to stay to the outside of Peyton, but can't quite make her go. And Cody Hoops right there too. Goodness gracious, this top three.
That 10 is not letting them get away. Refusing to be counted out of this one. Cody Hoops sends it in, a little bit of door-to-door there. Once again between him and the 43. Leaning on each other, as you can see from both cameras on the right and left side.
And here comes Claiborne to give it right back at the corner entry on the next time by, easy for me to say. Hop continuing to hold serve here under immense pressure from Damon Claiborne and Cody Hoops. Claiborne, the meat in the sandwich right now, is trying to get forward a spot, but trying to hang on to second at the same time. Just an unenviable position for him. Hoops nowhere to go but forward, just looking for ground. And look out, Peyton Hop got her sideways. Claiborne will lift and let him get it back together. It's a pretty gentlemanly move there by Damon Claiborne.
I think Damon's confident enough in his car. He thinks he can go get Hop legitimately. Doesn't need to rely on a big hit like that.
So Damon Claiborne had the chance by getting into Peyton. Says, nah, I want to get you by normal means here. And at the line, it's almost even Steven with 15 to go.
Ooh, side by side. Maybe a little bit of contact there through the right-hander. Here comes Hoops. He once again poking his head into the picture.
Wow, what a great battle in your top three. You could throw a blanket over him at times. Heck, to that point, Claiborne almost had Hop at the line. We've got to take a break. We will come back for the finale of the Figure 8 Nationals for the Buzz Inn Steakhouse Stinger 8s here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Welcome back to Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing, and you are watching an absolute banger of an A main event here in the BECU Figure 8 Nationals for the Buzz Inn Steakhouse Stinger 8s. Peyton Hop has led since about lap, I'm going to say 27 to go here, and has just been bird-dogged by Damon Claiborne in the 43 and Cody Hoops in the 10 car. I'm Caleb Hart, Derek Todoroff joining me in the booth, and Derek, this has been a classic.
Oh, this is one for the ages so far, and don't look now, but you might see that white car at the edge of your screen. That's Matt Somerville coming to join this battle for the race lead. The 21 closing in. He's going to play a role in the end of this one.
Yeah, laying in wait for a little while, but is getting there towards the tail end. Coming up on the lap car of Kyle Shukar, and the big move by Claiborne to get out of the way is going to cost him second, with the intersection getting hot in front of him. No, now it's going to work to his advantage. Shukar holding his lane, nobody can get by, and Somerville will steal third away from Hoops.
He tagged the Uke tire as well through that corner. You saw him bounce off of it. You can see the smudge of white on his front bumper on the right side.
Wow, look at that. So Matt Somerville creeps his way in and makes his way to third here with 9 to go. Now Hoops has to work extra hard to get it back. Meanwhile, intersection awfully busy as well as we go in car with the Somerville 21, as he's got some ground to make up here on Peyton Hop and David Claiborne.
Well, he's also going to have the best view in the house as Claiborne gets tagged by the 20, and now they're side by side for the race lead.
Yeah, tags the Uke tire at the same time as massive overcooking. Cody Weldon comes in, tags your leader Peyton Hop. What the blue blazes is going on here?
Oh, this is how you end a Figure 8 race right here. Somerville on the attack, trying to close down the space and get to Claiborne and Hop. Hop trying to run away from the two of them.
Desperately, everybody trying everything they have, as Hoops now has to get to around the outside of Weldon. There is Somerville, who's made it to the back of Claiborne. Claiborne with some distance between him and Hop right now as we come into 5 to go.
And there is Somerville making the move to the inside against Damon Claiborne. He is through, chasing down the number 16 of Peyton Hop with 5 laps remaining.
Did he just kind of lay and wait for a while and come alive late, or is the car coming to him? What's happening with Somerville? Got to ask all these questions as Peyton Hop has had to furiously defend Claiborne and Hoops for so long. Now a new contender emerges with 4 to go. The intersection well spread out. Peyton Hop not going to have it easy here on these final few circuits.
He might have tried to play it safe, stick back in the rear of the field and then make your way through. He's confident in that race car. The question is, did he wait a little too long? Will he have enough time to get to Peyton Hop now that he's passed Mike Hathaway?
Hoops gets around Claiborne for third to take the final podium spot, as the next time by, Peyton Hop has a clean intersection. Will be down to 2 to go. Claiborne trying to make his way back inside the top 3, but Hoops driving his way forward. Still a little ways back from the leader as they are coming after him. There is the top dog, Somerville, 2 car lengths back, but we've only got one more time around, Derek.
He's a bold driver. That 21 could sling it in to try and get to Peyton Hop. Time running out, though. White flag in the air. One more time around for Peyton Hop.
Hop takes that kind of signature sharp entry here into the right-hand corner. It's helped him get off the turn really well, time and again. He gets through the intersection clean. One more set of corners, and Peyton Hop, Figure 8 Nationals champion here in the Buzz Inn Steakhouse Stinger 8s.
Somerville in second, Hoops in third, Claiborne coming across the line in fourth. Fifth place is Diesel Snyder, as we going to take a look at that number 16. You can see the excitement behind the wheel for Peyton Hop.
Yeah, we're ready to celebrate out there as Kyle Shukar with the Wow, lots of camber in the right rear. That's kind of untraditional. You're right, that thing definitely got hit hard. But yeah, Peyton Hopp, burn her down, buddy. 4-cylinder donuts are still donuts, even if you're lacking the requisite extra 4 cylinders.
Hey, he's putting on a show right there, even if all the smoke coming off the right front tire.
And invading the cockpit so he can't see anymore. No big deal, right? Somerville out of the car to get ready to celebrate. Peyton's going up top, helmet out, and he is ready to cheer. Let's go down to the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium and talk to our top 3.
Cody, one of the most exciting races I've seen in a long time from this figure 8 class. You guys in the Stingers, you just keep topping yourselves. Only 10 cars to have a 50-lap battle like that. What was it like?
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. 10 cars, and I feel like we put on a pretty good show. So there was like 3 of us neck and neck over half the race. Good racing, respectful racing, and it was just a lot of fun.
You've been out here a long time racing the Stinger 8 class. How does that help you in races like this that are longer than usual?
I'm tired. I'm getting old, to be honest with you. Just navigating the chaos. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Yeah, that's about it.
Who would you like to thank for your performance out here tonight?
My stepdad, Tom Easley, John Bender, JBR, Dave Riddell, Matt Somerville, and Cascade Auto.
Driver of the number 10, Cody Hoops, 3rd place tonight. Matt, one of the first things I noticed from up top is so many of the drivers immediately going aggressive, getting as forward as they can, as fast as they can. You took a more conservative approach. You think maybe if you just went a little bit earlier, you could have gotten to Peyton?
I definitely wish I had started a little bit sooner, but that's kind of the advantage you have starting last is you get to kind of watch things unfold, but maybe I watched things unfold about 5 laps too long.
The intersection was getting exciting constantly throughout the race. You found yourself in many different positions going into it. How do you keep your calm?
That's a good question. The 202 just about cleaned me out, and that was close. That one had me thinking it, but I just really wanted to get up front, so it was just going to be whatever it took.
And who would you like to thank for your 2nd place tonight?
Airport Welding and Muffler in Snohomish, John Bender Racing, all my family that's out here, everybody, the Riddells for loaning out all their toolboxes, of course. They basically pit all 3 of these cars for us, so it was awesome.
Driver of the number 21, 2nd place tonight, Matt Somerville. Peyton, contact almost immediately ripped off the right rear bumper cover. Did any of that pass through your mind during the race, or did you just ignore it and just go, we're going?
Not all. I was looking straight forward. I grabbed the lead, and I just wanted to get away as fast as possible. I mean, we got a competitive field out here. I mean, Damon Claymore, Matt Somerville, Cody Hoops. I mean, you name it. It was a very competitive field. And, man, what a wild race that was. We were passing lap cars like crazy, and I just can't believe it, man. I mean, I would never in my wildest dreams I imagined to be figure 8 national champion. Woo!
Big belt, big trophy. How are you feeling? For all these people in the audience, what is it like to do this?
Man, it's really a dream come true. I mean, I've been coming to Evergreen Speedway my entire life. Grew up in a boat racing family with Hop Racing, and every weekend that they weren't racing, we were here at Evergreen. And I mean, just to achieve a trophy like this, I mean, it means everything to me, man.
Who would you like to thank for getting this big win?
I'd like to thank the Woodinville Cut Shop, my main sponsor. I really wouldn't have this car out here without them. Greatest place in Woodinville to eat out at. GN Northwest, Hornets Nest Racing, Hop Racing, Grandma and Grandpa Hop, Brandy Hood Promotions, and Matt Johnson Design, Exterior Wall Systems. I mean, I cannot say enough about the Hornets Nest guys. I mean, they literally got me where I am today, and we worked all week on the car to get it back, and I mean, this is just an incredible feeling. And last but not least, I got to thank all the incredible fans for coming out. We hope you like figure 8 racing. I sure do. Woo!
Your Stinger 8 Nationals champion, the number 16, Peyton Hopp.
First of 3 figure 8 national trophies and main events in the books. Congratulations, Peyton Hopp. 2 more to come. We'll see those a little bit later. For now, Vintage Modifieds will go to action here on the 3/8. We'll do some circle tracking here this afternoon on Home Track Heroes. Vern Hewson driving the 77, sponsored by Johnson Electric. He starts on the pole. To his outside, it is Shane Strimple in car number 57. He's sponsored by Aaron's Olympic 4x4. Second row is Jason Quatso. He is in car number 8. And to his outside, it's the 82 of Vince Conwell in the Northwest Concrete Cutting car.
First Day Electric on board the number 22 inside of row number 3. That's Steve Woods alongside the 23 of Cale Cheff. Benchmark Barrels on board the 30 of Kyton Jones. He's inside row 4. To his outside, car looks like it's number 7, but it's actually number 12.
Are you
the
sure?
Ultra Construction Machine of Rick Villiard. And rounding out your field, the number 25 of RT Griner. And yes, I am sure, Caleb.
Okay, so we're going to see it. That's the car that is outside row number 4. And I'm told that they just X'd out the 7. Is that what's happening here? Okay, I can see numbers and stuff. But if it looks like a 7, can I call it a 7?
Well, it's Rick Villiard. That's what matters.
All right, you sure?
I'm fairly confident.
All right, I'm just testing your knowledge. It's been a while since you were in the seat here, so we got to make sure that you're up to date.
I don't know, man. I was in the seat last week. You weren't here.
That's true.
I've been here more recently than you were.
I'm allowed 1 week off, all right?
I hosted the show last week.
So, Vintage Modifieds, these are very similar to actual late models in terms of the components and parts that are going on these cars. Just, you've got the vintage-looking body, and I believe you're on the 970 tire, if I remember correctly. So, they are ready to go. It's a very hard compound. They're trying to run and get a lot of laps out of it. They're a cool class. They're trying to keep it affordable for being a cool class, and definitely like the looks of these. Vern Hewson is a dual car owner in this field, by the way. He owns that car that he is running, and I believe he owns the 25 of RT Griner at the back of the field as well. So, Vern, the KG veteran, on the pole, with Strimple next to him. We are green. And it is Strimple from the outside getting the shot. Vince Conwell making his way into second in the 82. And for the outside of row number 3, that outside really got the great start. It is Cale Cheff. So 1, 2, and 3, Strimple, Conwell, and Cheff here in the opening lap.
Not something all too common to see out here at Evergreen Speedway, especially on 3/8. The outside groove being a preferred restart line. That's a rarity.
It was here on the initial, that's for sure, as Houston's car just didn't really come to life through the center of the corner, and it kind of bottlenecked up that bottom groove. Cheff now, from the in-car camera, works to second. He is underneath Conwell.
It's an awesome view.
And he has got a really nice line on Strimple already. So they'll get into the corner, and Cale Cheff is going to work from 6th to the lead in just 3 laps.
Onwards he goes, 27 to go. This is a really interesting view to ride along with on the right side.
Yeah, mounted almost like right in front of the right rear tire is kind of where you would expect to see that camera. So you can get a better look at it as it comes off the corner. But Cale Cheff got the lead. Conwell, who spent most of the race last time these cars were here up and around the middle, trying to pass around the outside, gets to tuck into the bottom and settle into second, at least for the time being. And Strimple's got third right now, but right in behind him, I think it's going to either be Steve Woods or it's going to be Kyton Jones, one of the two.
That is Woods.
Woods frequently driving from the back of the pack forward, and he is one of the guys that is very capable of working his way around the outside. So Woods into third as he makes it by Strimple, and there is Kyton Jones following him. Got to thank our friends at Buzz Inn Steakhouse, serving hand-cut Angus steaks, breakfast all day, and mouth-watering burgers. Visit one of their 11 locations for a great deal on a great meal. Buzz Inn Steakhouse, your best choice.
Great view from the speed shot as they come across the line. Make it 23 to go. Cheff, Conwell, Woods, your top 3. Jones up into 4th, 5th place right now. The battle on screen between Quatso and the 57 of Strimple.
Quatso's got a new engine being built here, so this is going to be the last dance on the current power plant, is looking to upgrade and get something a little snappier, a little peppier in the 8 car going forward. Something to look forward to for him. Up front, Vince Conwell and Steve Woods. This is for second for a couple of the veterans here of the Vintage Mod division. Less than a car length separates them, and that same vantage point here from the Woods cars. We're going to get a look at it. You can see that he is half a groove lower than Conwell coming off the corner, and it appears a half groove lower going in as well.
It's a great perspective to see how close to that the wall they get here on the front stretch, but mostly the backstretch dirt. We've seen over the season many cars on the oval track go off course. There's just a view of how close this preferred line is.
Yeah, maybe 2 feet away from tipping the right side tires off into the dirt over there. It's not much. Meanwhile, a little further back, Strimple on the outside and Quatso. They're side by side for position. And give it to Jason Quatso, who will move up and forward a spot on Strimple. Nice pass.
Oh, Woods got loose there off of turn number 4. Cost him a little bit of his gap to the 82, and the 30 is on him.
Kyton Jones, a previous feature winner here at Evergreen Speedway in the Vintage Mods. Half a car length back from Woods. He sits in position number 4. These laps going away quickly again. These are fast race cars here on the 3/8. They pick them up and put them down. As out front, Cheth continues to lead. Conwell has narrowed on him, though, as the battle for the top spot starting to get tight.
Former Bomber champion behind the wheel, that number 82 out here at Evergreen Speedway. As see Villiard going to lose the lap. It's going to pin Conwell to the top side, and it's going to cost him second and third. He'll fall back to 4th.
Long ways around the far outside for Conwell there, but more slower traffic remains. The 77 of Houston going a lap down. Everybody will swing wide to get around him. As it is now, Cheth, Woods, and Jones, 1, 2, and 3, and Conwell having to scramble for the 4th spot.
He's on the outside looking in. Jones, he's trying to find the inside groove against Steve Woods. We cross the halfway mark, 16 down, 14 to go.
From the Brandy Hood Promotions in-car camera on the Kyton Jones side, watching how he attacks Steve Woods, trying to creep his way up into position 2. We've got more racing coming up. We'll finish off the Vintage Mod A main event. That is all coming up next here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. The Vintage Modified A main event continues on here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Our program today brought to you by our friends at All Ply Roofing. I'm Caleb Hart. He is Derek Todoroff, and Derek, we are in car. Some really cool in-car shots that we've got here of course, this Vintage Mod main with Kyton Jones, who is sitting in 3rd. Man, he is all over Steve Woods for 2nd. Just trying to figure out his way to get by Cale Cheth, your race leader.
Yeah, he's looking down over a hood, but instead just staring right there at the open engine. One of the coolest parts of these Vintage Mods. As you see, here goes Kyton to the top side against Steve Woods.
Oh, good run. Woods gonna make him sweat for a second as Kyton throwing it in around the middle of the racetrack and coming off up high down the front straightaway. Conwell right there as well. Just 10 laps to go. They're 2/3 of the way into this. Can Jones figure out the combination, get around the outside, make it work? Looks like he's got it. Now making a bid for the lead on Cheth.
Here comes Vince Conwell to try and follow him through on the outside line. The 82 is close straight to the back bumper of the number 30, trying to follow him past the 23 and the 22.
Look at everything going on here with Kyton Jones as Jones nosing ahead into the corner. Can he keep the speed up? Making those 30-25s and 30-35s or 30-45s really work. My correction on that, they're not 970 tires. That's what the compound is they're running. And Kyton Jones got him hollering. He has got your lead now with 8 to go.
Woods now still trying to fend off Vince Conwell in that number 82 machine.
Vince has found some really nice real estate up there in the middle, but again, we saw this in the previous race of the Vintage Mods. Conwell was able to get side by side, but just right there at the apex of the corner where you expect him to have a little more surge, wasn't quite able to make it get up and get past. We'll go in car with Vince again. As you can see, MSD box over on the side, switch panels all labeled up nice. There you go, there's that surge. He's gaining on corner entrance, not necessarily in the middle. A little bump as he transitions from the 3/8 to the 5/8 in the front straightaway, as Conwell has got 3rd now, working for 2nd.
The 1990 Evergreen Speedway Bomber champion trying to find a road around on the middle groove. And whoa, big bobble there through 3 and 4.
Yeah, loses a lot of that ground that he just made. And there goes Woods back to the inside, trying to take it away from him. So Conwell committed to rolling the high groove here. As the bottom is shut down and nearly dipped the tires off. He'll have to pull her back in, but he gathered it together. That's good for Vince, because that could have been disaster.
3 to go here, and I think they might be too caught up on each other to worry about Kyton Jones, who's pulling away. Big check up there from the 23 of Cheth. Wood's going to go to the top, and we'll see where Conwell chooses to support.
Cheth with the big correction down the back straightaway, like you said. So we're down to just a couple of laps to go in this one. So running away is Kyton Jones. This is for second that you're watching in your screen. Kyton will take the white flag, but we're going to stay focused here on this battle for second and third. Conwell dipped to the inside as Woods thought about looping away outside. That's going to allow Cheth to try to hold on to second. This one's going to belong to Kyton Jones. He will be your winner unless something goes completely haywire. Jones to the victory. And for second, it is Cheth and then Conwell. Good race. So it was a lot of fun here for the vintage mods. Let's go down and talk to them. Top 3 are heading to the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
All right, Vince, you had to look high, you had to look low. You were kind of all over the track there trying to find a line around. What do you think it took to finally get the 82 to stick and get up to third?
Well, when we had to go 3 wide, it wiped out my race a little bit. It went from second to fourth real quick, but these guys are really good drivers. You can trust them. And it's a fun class to race in. So if you've been a racer or you want to be a racer, come out and try this class. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah, third place tonight. Good run for you. Well, who do you want to thank for helping get it out of here?
Well, I want to thank Northwest Concrete Cutting, Jim Shaw is my crew chief, and my wife, Deanna.
All right, let's give it up. Third place tonight, driver of the 82, Vince Conwell. All right, Cale, that was quite a race. You guys were 4 wide. You were 2 by 2, 4 cars lit up at the front. Second place tonight. What more do you think you needed to hang on to it?
I don't know. The car wasn't. It was tight. I don't know what it was, but I had to stay on the bottom.
Yeah, that outside line seemed to be working more. Talk about running this 3/8 oval. What do you like about it? And you guys get to tour, so is this a track you like a lot?
Yeah, I like this track. I have the most laps on this track, but we're going to State Line next weekend, or Mode Stadium now, this weekend or next weekend. So I'm excited for that.
And who do you want to thank for helping get out of here?
My grandpa John Woods, my uncle Steve, my family and friends that all come out, all the fans, and then 7K Construction and Remodel, AccuVac Furnace and Duct Cleaning, First Day Electric, Campanelli Crane, Classic Interiors, and I think that's it.
All right, we'll give it up. Second place tonight, Cale Cheth. All right, Kyton, you started further back in the field. You had to drive through a lot of cars, but you seem to have this 3/8 oval. Talk about what about your car and this track that makes it work so well?
It's just a lot of laps here. Got a good handling car, and that makes it pretty easy on my end.
You seem to make that outside line work. Was there anything that you were liking maybe up high a little bit more than normal today?
Yeah, my car actually handled better up there, so something for us to work on. I liked it up there.
And who do you want to thank for helping make it out?
My dad, first and foremost. My fiance Cassidy, Shorty, my son Cam. My sponsors, Benchmark Barrels, Daryl Berg and his engines, and that's about it.
All right, we'll give it up. 2 for 2 this year at the Super Speedway of the West. Put your hands together for the 30-year race winner, Kyton Jones.
Vintage Modified win. Congratulations there. We got to move on. We have got another Figure 8 Nationals coming up. It's a 50-lap main event, and this is the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8A main event. We got some fascinating names in this one, too. Steve Cox is in the 58. Pivo Sports Bar sponsors it. Jeff Anderson, the 78 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Rugged Radios. The second row is Jacob Funk in the 8, PNW Traffic Control and Supply. And the Black 11 is Blaine Manning, sponsored by Be Happy Carpet Cleaning.
In the orange, number 43 out of Darrington, sponsored by Siskiyou Power Equipment, that's Sheridan Vincent. In the PCI 01, that's the Grizz, Doug Delfell. In the 67 machine out of Monroe, sponsored by BECU, that's Mackenzie Dietz, alongside Big Bird Robert Weldon in the yellow number 63, sponsored by All Ply Roofing LLC.
Row number 5 is Jeff Talbert. He's running the 47 car out of Arlington, sponsored by Pilchuck Heating. And to his outside, the V88 is Steve Peters out of Monroe, sponsored by Protocol Plumbing. 6th row, John Carlson, the Cowboys in the Bill Fleischacker 36, sponsored by Rev Up Energy. And to his outside, Chris Southard, the 76S from Everett, sponsored by All Solved Plumbing.
In the number 20, subbing in tonight is Mike Cadell, sponsored by Big Truck Service of Fife, alongside the 369 of Tasha Dunn out of Sultan, sponsored by All Ply Roofing LLC. The 66 is Rick Jones, sponsored by Spanky's Twisted Cartoons. The 45 is Chevy Vincent out of Darrington, sponsored by Pro H&S.
Final 2 rows, 17X of Rick Yargis out of Stanwood, sponsored by McCarthy General Contractor. The 195 is Devin Jenkins, PNW Traffic Control and Supply, sponsored with Maltby based driver. Back row is Kenny Shoecar, that's the white 11. Be Happy Carpet Cleaning on that. And Dawson Cox in the 5 out of Arlington, the Mary's Towing Car, starting dead last on the field. Long road to hoe for Dawson, but 50 laps to do it.
As they drew for their positions, with one exception, as the green flag will fly. Only driver who did not draw, the number 5 of Dawson Cox, who with the driver change went to the rear. Mr. Excitement will jump to the race lead as Steve Cox going to try and gap the rest of the field immediately in that number 58.
Yeah, Cox has been very proficient at winning this race in the past, as he is one of the best Outlaw Superstock figure 8 drivers that we've seen. Just part-time these days, comes out for the big shows, and that's about it. Cox will lead, and rest of the field trying to figure her out. There is Anderson and Vincent getting into it early, and already it looks like, is that the Cowboy moving forward some big spots? Maybe not. Might have been Manning's 11 car that I picked up there.
Well, Cowboy is also on the move, as is Manning's number 11. He makes the move to the inside of Anderson. Anderson drifting wide. It goes Mr. Excitement, then Sheridan Vincent, and then the number 11 of Blaine Manning. Your top 3 right now, with Grizz and McKenzie close behind.
There's Cowboy. I saw him. He was right behind McKenzie in that last little shot there. Doug Delfell, the 01, that is 5 decades of experience in that car as he pushes through the corner. Dietz taking a look to the inside, coming off the turn. She'll be on the outside of the next corner as they set it up. Crisscross. Delfell likes to come down through the corner. McKenzie with a look. Traffic jam at the intersection. Full 20-car field here for this Figure 8 Nationals. We are going to see a lot of intersection.
Oh, yes, we are. As Mr. Excitement clears on through, you see 3 stopped cars. Rick Jones, Tasha Dunn, Jacob Funk. Everyone finding their way on through.
Guys, if you
right now.
If you stop there, you're going to be stopped for a minute. So you better be ready to pick her back up. As there we go, yellow flag finally coming out. As okay, let's get these guys moving. Let's just not have them hanging out in the middle of the intersection. You can see even more stopped. And oh, there goes Dawson Cox to the pit area already.
Ooh, problems for the number 5. Tough break for Dawson. Looks like severe damage to that left front.
Wow, yeah, left front caved in. Let's take a look here at Cox, who was working to the inside of the 66 of Jones. Here is from the Yargis point of view, and I didn't see the contact there, but...
Yeah, it tags right here at the edge of the flag cove.
Oh, yeah, just nailed the uke tire. Okay, so Cox problems, and what a disappointing day for the 5-car team. Again, the decision was made, as I understand it, relatively late to get Dawson into the race car, and again, that's why he had to go to the back of the field. Car normally driven by Quentin Borison, and Quentin couldn't make the call.
Yeah, tough break for the team. As now Dawson's dad, Steve Cox, in control of the restart. 4 laps into this one, 46 to go. Row number 2, Blaine Manning, Sheridan Vincent. Row 3, Mackenzie Dietz and Doug Delfell. That's your top 5.
It's just weird seeing Talbert in a number 47 and not a 72. That's been the family number for so long on that.
As well, problems for Manning on the restart. The number 11 is slow, pulling off and away. We'll try and figure out what just happened to Blaine Manning. Meanwhile, Sheridan Vincent, Doug Delfell now on the attack against Mr. Excitement, Steve Cox.
So Cox, Vincent, Delfell, with Cowboy and Dietz on their way, as we need to take a second and thank Monroe Grocery Outlet, the locally owned neighborhood grocery store. They offer name brand products, fresh produce, organics, wine, and more at 40 to 70% less than traditional grocery stores. See Terry and Linda at the Monroe Grocery Outlet. Monroe Grocery Outlet, proud sponsor of the NASCAR Superstock Figure 8 division.
Steve Cox fends off Sheridan Vincent's charge. Here comes Cowboy on Grizz. Two veterans and very successful drivers in Figure 8 competition on the hunt, all while poor Blaine Manning stuck watching from the backstretch.
Attrition already playing a huge factor here in this race, just 7 laps into it. Intersection clean for Cox at the moment, but it's not guaranteed to stay like that, as Vincent sitting there waiting for his shot to get back into this. Delfell still in the 3rd spot, Cowboy and Dietz lingering and looking for opportunity.
You can afford to wait if you're Cowboy or Mackenzie right now. He's looking out the back bumper of Mackenzie Dietz. You see that camouflaged front bumper, and that lets you know the battle wagon is on the hunt. The V88, Steve Peters behind the wheel of that machine.
We all know what Peters can do. we know that he is not afraid to use that front bumper as he does. That shot to the shorts, it happens.
It shoved her right past the 01 of Doug Delfell.
Which is a added benefit. So forward they go. As you can see, Dietz now up into position number 4. Carlson sits 3 after Vincent and Cox. With, again, we're going to say it a million times, the intersection is just going to be hairy with 20 full-size cars out there.
Oh, yeah. The spectacular view to get. Around goes 63.
That's Weldon's 63 car circling around. Anderson's 78 is a lap down. That's going to pin Vincent to the outside of this corner. Can Carlson do anything with that? Vincent will square it around and get by to make the pass and give pursuit of Cox once again out in front.
Based off that little wobble, he might have sustained some contact, but nonetheless, regardless, we got 3 lapped cars in the way here for the number 58. As there's some side-to-side contact, yellow flag will fly.
So caution out onto the track, as we've got another one stopped there in the infield. We will gather our breath, try to figure it out. It's been a wild start to this race. More of the Superstock Figure 8 main event coming up on Home Track Heroes. You guys are tuning in to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. I'm Caleb Hart. He is Derek Todoroff. Derek, just 12 laps here in to the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8A main event, and it's been chaotic already. We've had contenders drop out with malfunction. We've had guys wreck. We've had people go laps down because they couldn't make it through the intersection, and we're only 12 laps into it.
That's the beauty of Figure 8 racing. What can I say?
Your race leader is Steve Cox. Running second is John Cowboy Carlson. And the 3rd place car is 43 of Sheridan Vincent here on the restart, with some names all in and around them too. Mackenzie Dietz, Steve Peters, and Jeff Talbert, the next 3 in the running order. It's a talented group up front.
Hey, don't doubt Grizz, who's also on the outside looking in. This is a lineup and a half right here of Evergreen Speedway legends. Steve Cox, Cowboy, have both won this race before, trying to add yet another one to their collection.
Man, you calculate that up between the top 7, and there's like 1,372 years of auto racing between them.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's some veterans in there. So Cox will continue to set the pace. He's done that for the entire race here in the rebuilt 58 car. We're talking about that at the commercial break, and the shot that car took early on in the season. It has been reconfigured, redone, and right now it's very fast out in front of the field. With Carlson second and Vincent third, and there's the awesome drone point of view of the intersection, and yeah, that'll show you just how chaotic it can be here.
Now we're going side by side for the race lead.
So side by side for the lead.
Nope, now we're not.
All right, now we're out of it. It's Elevate Racing Media that's on the drone shot for us. David Nelson, big thank you to him. As there is Cox hanging on. It is side by side for second, though. Weldon's worked his way to the inside of Carlson, and at least through this set of corners, he's got the nose ahead, but it's the next set of corners that matter.
Cowboy willing to take a breath, wait for an opportunity. As I say that, it comes to him as around goes the 43. Sheridan Vincent all the way around will get refired before he loses a lap, but that'll allow Mackenzie Dietz up into third.
Look out, Robert Weldon is quite literally reconfiguring the race course by pushing the Uke tire around in front of him where he spun out. And I believe that's going to get us
that is going to bring out the
caution
yellow
flag as he has shoved that Uke tire all the way far. He didn't even have to go that far in. He just had to get it a little bit more so he could reverse.
Ricky Dietz would be a massive fan of that line right there.
Well, Uke tires are evil. They have hurt a lot of people, as we're going to watch from the Uke tire cam and watch Weldon smack and move. There you go. All right, well, we'll set it back right.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, he was angry at that Uke tire. Go away. Get off my race course. So, quick caution. We've only completed a few laps after the commercial break, but it is still Cox. But now, Carlson second, Dietz third, and that does make a pretty big difference with the way the top three will run.
And Peters and Delphi on the outside looking in, fourth and fifth. Riding along here with Cowboy, looking through his front bumper. This is an awesome view to have on any figure eight car.
Bring him back to green flag. Our program today brought to you by All Ply Roofing. As Cox will lead, now we will watch and see how John Carlson wants to use that front bumper as he will come up on Steve Cox and put her to work.
Here we go. First little bit of contact. He's going to play nice to start with. Still got a lot of racing left.
I don't even know that that was even a little bit of contact. It was close enough that it could have not been.
Maybe.
Yeah. Objects in mirror may be closer than they appear, though. Remember that. Dietz third, Peters 4, Talbert, Grizz, Yargis has worked his way up. Boy, Yargis started 19th, and he's made his way to 7th here, so that's a good run for Rick.
With 30 laps to go, you're going to want to play nice with any drivers around you. If you don't and you get back to it, they get back to you, it's not going to go well. It's a lot of time to be worried about who's around you, as Steve Cox and Cowboy leaning on each other as I say that.
It's like Cox spun the tires or something coming off of the South Pole. It's weird. He lost a ton of forward drive, and now we've got a new race leader. And now that car is getting really hard to handle for the 58.
Oh, tag 67.
Yeah, gets into the back of Dietz. They'll go side by side as Mackenzie looks to take second. Cox looks to take it back over or secure it. But boy, yeah, the 58 looks wild loose all of a sudden.
Is its right front wheel turning?
Let's get a look at it coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, seems like it's okay. Just who knows what went haywire there, but certainly cost him some drive, and now 2 positions. Falling off the pace relatively rapidly as well. So whatever it is that's ailing Cox, he's having to get up on the wheel and try to drive through it. As we're looking further back, that is 6, 7, 8, and such, with amongst others, Yargis and more running in those spots.
Captain Chaos here to add just that into our battle right here. Steve Cox, Steve Peters, Jeff Talbert running 3, 4, 5.
Talbert all over the back of Peters. Peters underneath Funk in the 8 car and trying to figure out his way to get around to Cox, who's clearly, I don't want to say a wounded duck because it still has speed, but speed is one thing, handle is a whole different question.
Oh, I saw Yargis, the side of Yargis' car. That's not a part I'm supposed to see.
Oh no, facing the wrong way, and that's Rick Jones around in the 66.
The 17 will get pointed the right direction once again. A delayed announcer's curse from Caleb on that machine.
That was more than a couple of laps. The Whammy was certainly not late there.
Blaine Manning returning to the track in the number 11. We saw him have troubles earlier and pull off course. He returns.
Meanwhile, we eclipsed the halfway mark in this one as Carlson now sets the pace, and he is definitely throwing it around and putting down some really good laps. Carlson splits the difference, although he had a couple of drivers make a business decision to decide not to go after the intersection there. And he is putting some distance between himself and Dietz right now. Dietz trying to traverse and get around the 66 with the slower car of Manning hanging out right there.
He's poking to the inside. Chevy Vincent, Rick Jones, both in the way of the number 67. Here's the 11 fighting to the inside of the 67. Mackenzie does not have a car within striking distance. She can pass or can't pass her for position, but she is still engaged in a battle with these two lap cars.
Yeah, lap cars racing with the leaders. That's always popular in the pit area.
As we are running with Steve Cox here, looking through his front bumper. I will say, figure 8 camp, a little more divided on what to do if you're a lapped car.
How so?
Some drivers will tell you they prefer the lapped car just run whatever line that lapped car usually runs, so they can go around the driver. If you know what they're going to do, it's easier to get around them. Some will say. Some will tell you, get out of my way. Don't stand in my way. Move aside.
There goes Carlson lapping Yargis. 43 of Vincent has gone down laps as well. So John Carlson now starting to put some of the guys who are running up in the top 5 and in and around it early down a lap. And it is a ways back to Mackenzie Dietz. So Carlson starting to live pretty. There's Delfell in the intersection. He survives. Carlson shoots his way through once again and up to try to put a lap on Mike Cadell.
Mike Cadell subbing in for Skylar Cruz today in that number 20 machine. I should add, one of the coolest parts of that, first race figure 8 racing since 2001.
Long time ago in a land far away.
I was not alive back then.
I was graduating high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, shush.
I don't believe
That,
you.
shush. We need to thank our friends at BECU. They are our sponsor of the Figure 8 Nationals here at Evergreen Speedway. Boeing Employee Credit Union believes in people over profit. Discover the BECU difference. BECU committed to your financial well-being. Check out all the financial programs offered at becu.org. That's becu.org.
You were around when they were founded, weren't you?
Been around long enough. Green flag continuing to hang out. Steve Peters in the 88, still outside the top 3, but I don't think for more than one more corner here as Cox got very wide. Peters, the big run. They go door panel to door panel, number to number. Spot belongs to Cox for now. And Steve gonna pinch way down and take a shot for the effort. As there goes Peters all the way by, and Talbert into the back end there of the 58 to give him a little what for as well.
You want to talk about some drivers who've raced against each other for a long time, Steve Peters and Steve Cox. Both of them champions out here at the Super Speedway of the West. So is the driver who continues to lead us, the Cowboy, John Carlson, pioneering the way in the 36 machine. The big gap between him and second place Mackenzie Dietz.
About a month ago, Cowboy had his own car, his own Outlaw Figure 8, and took a win back in Indianapolis. Big deal for him back there. First Washington driver to win back at that racetrack. So congratulations to him. He is definitely riding high in the confidence as he will shoot by Delfell to lap him. Doug said, that intersection's not what I want to deal with right at the time, and woed up, and that allows the Flyshacker 36 to fly by him and make another pass.
Yellow flag out in the air. I think, yep, there it is. Problems for the number 11 of Blaine Manning, his second time. Riding along with Rick Yargis, and Manning just another uke tire claims another victim. See it just out the corner of your view.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
Ooh.
going to be suboptimal suspension geometry on the right front of the Manning car.
Yeah, that's rough.
New A-arms, new springs coming for the 11, that's for sure. And probably some new shock mounts at the same time. So, your race leader has got 10 to go, and here they go, Delaware double style in behind him. This could be fascinating.
Yeah, it could. Mackenzie Dietz, Steve Peters, Steve Cox, Jeff Talbert. That might be the end of the cars on the lead lap, to be perfectly honest.
Well, we just saw Delfell go down a lap. We've seen Yargis get passed, and we've seen Vincent get passed.
Delfell's at the back, so he's your final lead lap car under the free pass.
All right, so 6 remain on the lead lap with 10 to go. As back to green flag action we
Oh,
are.
problems
and-
for the 58.
Yeah, you wondered. Something looked haywire on that car earlier, and
Yeah, there's a part lying on the ground. I can see it from here.
all right, let's take a look at this replay and see if we can't figure it out a little more. It's wide and coming through, and then
Hit the uke tire.
oh goodness gracious, Uke Tire is claiming some victims. New parts for everybody. There it is, just enough to nick that right front and send Steve and take Jeff with him.
That is a tough break for Jeff.
Huh. From the Deets, yep,
Snapped.
smack. Right into it. Easy to bust a tie rod or something like that in the process. And so off into the nether goes the 58. See if Talbert can restart. He'll be at the tail end of the lead lap, I would guess. So
No, that's not a good sign.
Nope. So 1, 2, 3. We know those three are lead lap cars in Carlson, Dietz, and Peters. We know Yargis and the 43 are lapped
Hey,
down.
there's Talbot at the rear.
Okay, so Talbot is unlapped and Delfell is unlapped. So there's 5 lead lap cars. 2 of them packed all the way at the end, and 2 of them up to threaten your leader for the lead.
We are away once again. The Elevate Racing Media drone.
Cool vantage point here.
And we are riding with Mackenzie Dietz looking out the back bumper at the Battle Wagon on the hunt.
From the Brandy Hood Promotions in-car cam? It's not on-car cam? All right, good enough. Dietz with Peters trying to figure out how to get around her. And we're going to be just 8 laps remaining. Now, at this point in time, Carlson can really manage this race. He can gauge that intersection. He can decide how close he wants to get up to the lap. Field is, Delfell now out. So the 0-1 calling her a day. And for Peters, that's again one more car that he doesn't have to worry about in the intersection or closing in on.
So Carlson, Dietz, Peters, your top 3. Talbot still 3 lap cars away from contending.
7 to go. And they'll go relatively quick. Carlson has continued to set a really blistering pace out in front of this field.
Spread out pretty nicely. I think we might get to the rear, the tail of this pack by the end of this one. We'll see if that affects the Cowboy. Give Mackenzie a chance.
Yeah, it's going to take a few more laps, but either get to the back of the pack or get at least to the intersection portion of it, right?
I think we may very well get intersection tension on the last lap.
The last lap. All right, you're calling it. We're marking it down. The gap remains about 2 car lengths between Carlson and Dietz. Stretch it out to 3 or 4 when he's on the hammer and in the straightaways. As there's your 3rd place car, the 88 of Steve Peters, and there's still, I want to say, 3 lap cars in between him and Jeff Talbot.
Yeah, it does seem to still be the case. Sheridan, Chevy, and Yargis.
Everybody who's survived this race deserves kudos to an extent. It has been a lot of attrition. We started 20, and I think we're down to 9 running, so half the field gone bye-bye at this point in time.
Yep.
The Uke Tire has claimed a couple of victims. So you watch the lapped car of Vincent, the 43, try to put some front bumper to Steve Peters.
Vincent is being scored as 4th.
Okay. So we're going to see the white flag one more time around here for the Cowboy, John Carlson. Looking to make his car owner happy, as he has just 2 more corners to go after this one. Intersection, almost got to the tail end of it. You were close, and off the corner, it is a figure 8 Nationals win for the Cowboy, John Carlson. 2nd to Mackenzie Dietz, and give 3rd to Steve Peters. What a podium this one's going to be, as everybody else gets through and gets finished. Well done to our Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8 field. Well, there's Cowboy. He is getting his flowers from Steve Peters. Those dudes have raced each other quite a few times. They need to start driving with gloves, but what do I know?
They're teammates for this one.
Why, I don't care. They still need gloves.
Well, that was more referencing the fist bump than the gloves.
Ah, gotcha. Well, at the same time, I believe we are going to get our traditional John Carlson I won a race celebration right here, and it starts with some really cool donuts.
Burning it down here on the front stretch of Evergreen Speedway, coming to a stop. The Cowboy, John Carlson, winning this one.
Ben White would approve. Destroy all tires, says him. Cowboy going to do a fence climb, and we'll be back with the podium after this here on Home Track Heroes.
All right, Steve. Different car than you've been out here previously this season. Nonetheless, you're holding your own. You're having some fun getting elbows out a bit with some old friends like Steve Cox. But number 5 is just a little too far tonight. What more do you think you needed?
You know, I'm sorry that the number 5 with Quentin couldn't drive tonight. And it's nice to see my teammate in my backup car, the V36. And just happened to be in the 88 tonight. I want to thank Guy Litz Racing, Protocol Plumbing, and well, the Rock Church, of course, that's my sponsor. And this is 3 weeks in a row. We've been on the podium in 3 different kinds of cars, dirt modified, bumped to pass last week, and I get another podium in the Supers.
Driver of the number 88, Steve Peters, 3rd place tonight. 50 laps in a Superstock figure 8. How much work is that physically for you behind the wheel of the car?
You know, it's a lot. My brother-in-law took me fishing last night, and I caught a fish, and we were out in the bubble, and so my arms are really tired. So I was just trying to, hold on to everything I had, and it was a lot of work, especially with, the group of people that we have in this class. It's phenomenal with the experience, and I'm just lucky enough to be up here, and I don't know how I held Steve off. He's an incredible driver, and him and I battled it out at the restarts, and I was like, oh man, I gotta hit my marks. And John, he's somebody that I've always looked up to, and especially in this class, respect the heck out of. And I really wanted first place for Quentin tonight. He wasn't able to run last minute. Sorry, it makes me emotional. But, I'll take a second place for him.
You put on a great show out there. Who would you like to thank?
My crew, my sponsors, my family, BECU for being here. If you're from BECU, give me a woot woot. Yeah, thanks guys for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show. Buzzin' Steakhouse, Two Girls Gift Shop, Kayak Point Construction, Brandy Hood for just all the in-car videos she does, Reppin' Welding and Rail, John at Ghostum Cams, and just all of you guys for being here. This is a great crowd, and we love putting on a show for you, so thank you for showing up so we continue to have a place to do this at.
Driver the number 67, 2nd place tonight, Mackenzie Dietz. Cowboy, this is a record-tying 5th win out here at Figure 8 Nationals for you. What does this night mean to you?
It's kind of crazy, all the work I put into the car for Bill and him helping me out getting it where it's gotten to. I had an unfortunate deal in the heat race where I wrecked the whole right front of the car. We thrashed on her, got her put back together, and just had to pick my way through a big field of cars and bide my time, and then I got behind Steve, and I had to really be patient with him because he's a tough old bird to race with. Me and him been racing together a lot of years.
You were doing with a lot of friendly faces out there, whether it be Steve Peters, Steve Cox. I mean, is it special to see the young faces out here with the old and still take home this big one?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to be racing with my old buddies, with Steve Peters, Steve Cox. I'm not sure what happened with Quentin. I really missed that out, having him out here. But that would have been a blast. That was a lot of fun racing with all the guys.
Who would you like to thank for getting this win?
Well, I got to definitely thank Bill for letting me drive his car. And back to this list of people, we got Rev Up Energy Drink, Sky Valley Tree Service, B&R Machine Works, Papa's Bar, SRP Transport, and he's going to throw my little fireplace guy in there, and Central Welding.
driver the number 36, Superstock Figure 8 Nationals champion, Cowboy John Carlson.
I just want to know, does John get the trophy and does Bill get the championship belt that Brandy had done? I'd want the belt.
You'd want the belt?
I'd want the belt, absolutely. Congratulations to John Carlson and team owner Bill Fleischacker on the Superstock Figure 8 Nationals win. Very cool deal for them, and we have to move forward because we still have one more Figure 8 Nationals race to go. But before we get to that, our street stocks are going to hit the track, and we'll get 30 laps around the 3/8 mile coming up. Our lineup looking like this. Jackson Beckle's got the pole. He is from Lake Stevens. It's the Tire Pros of Arlington 18J to his outside. Jim Fody in the 85. He's out of Edmonds. Trademark RCS, the sponsor on that car. Row number 2 is the 22 of Kenny Erickson out of Tulalip from, he is sponsored by Central Welding. And the outside of Kenny, it's the other ACR car. Austin Camp is the 69 out of Monroe, sponsored by Phillips Law Firm.
In the number 39 out of British Columbia, the Harding Forklift Services machine is Stuart Harding. He's alongside the 06 dominant car this season, Lang Automotive machine out of Kirkland, Steve Potasic. And rounding out your field of 7, driving the number 42 out of Bothell, sponsored by IHOP in Monroe, open 24 hours, it's Tony Deegan.
So Potasic and Beckel are the only 2 race winners in this field this year tonight. Potasic's got a bunch, Beckel's got 1. Beckel's got the benefit of starting inside row number 1 here on this one, and that is going to make a massive, massive change. We saw the last time that we had street stocks on the schedule. Potasic, just based on track position, couldn't get up to the front to threaten for the lead. Race leader got away, ran away, one of those kind of deals. This time he's a row further up and to the outside. Depending on what the start looks like on the outside, could get quite the jump here.
We'll see whose way it falls. Jackson Beckel on the inside, Jim Fody on the outside, rolling through turn number 3. And off of turn number 4, we are away.
I like the drone shot coming to the green flag. That's very, very cool.
Beautiful touch.
Even Steven side by side down the back straightaway go Beckel and Fody. We have seen, Fody gets the shot to the shorts from Camp. That fades Camp out wide. Jim doesn't spend a lot of time in the high groove. He is almost always trying to get that car to the bottom of the racetrack. But right now, keeping up with Beckel in the 18. Jackson letting him hang there for a little bit as Erickson's trying to get down low and prevent Fody from coming downstairs to close the door off. First couple, big old tap going into the corner. So Erickson trying to secure the spot, and he will.
We're riding along with Jim Fody on the right side of your screen with the in-car, or the roof cam. Yeah, this is a roof cam.
Sure.
He is trying to fight on the high side against Stuart Harding in the number 39.
Harding's got that inside lane. He's going to stick to it. Potasic has come from the outside down as he works to the inside of the 85 of Fody, and that is for 4th. Checks up for just a second.
Oh, contact. Lots of contact.
Big old fenders into each other. Potasic gets by, but loses the spot to Camp, who might relish the opportunity to get off the high groove and down to the bottom as well.
Ooh, we'll see how that affects the 06. The 85 slowed way up. We join the battle for the race lead. Kenny Erickson losing second to Stuart Harding. It's now Jackson Beckel on defense from the number 39.
5 laps into this, and here comes Stuart Harding. It's as good as the 39 car has looked all year long, as we'll flash back a couple of spots to Potasic working over the inside of Camp. Potasic trying to get down, but very sharp corner entry from Austin Camp, and he hugs that bottom through the corner, not allowing Potasic any shot to poke a nose underneath him, at least through 1 and 2.
And I've seen the 06 be fast enough to use the top side against his competitors before. So to most of the bottom, is there some contact in the 18J and the 39?
Yep, sends some body panel sheared off on the 39 car, and here comes Beckel back to the outside. Harding running into him might have woken up Jackson, and Jackson, a little retaliation coming off the corner, but we do have a new race leader, And it is Stuart Harding here for the first time in the 39 out in front of this.
He's going to try and get away from the 18J. Meanwhile, Steve Potasic looking low on Kenny Erickson. No room that time.
Half a groove lower than him coming off the corner, but he's got to get far enough up on Erickson in the corner to earn the lane.
There he goes.
And this might be the spot. There's the power. He's up to the numbers. The lane is his, and the spot belongs to Potasic now. 10 laps in, and he is up to third. However, his stiffest challenge is coming up in trying to get around Becu first, and then Harding if he can.
So Harding, Becu, Potasic, your top three. That 39 car, as you mentioned, looking real good tonight. Member of Racing Royalty leading the field around the 3/8, like his uncle and his grandfather before him.
Shane Harding has ran to many wins here at Evergreen Speedway, as has Pete, the legend, at Langley, BC. So Harding, Becu, Potasic from the overhead shot. As let's take a second, we got to thank some of our fine sponsors here on the show. Of course, Home Track Heroes is brought to you by All Ply Roofing, and this segment is brought to you by Speedway Chevrolet. Speedway Chevrolet and RV Center in Monroe is your one-stop transportation and RV center. From new vehicles to pre-owned cars and trucks, Speedway Chevrolet can locate nearly any make and model you're searching for. Speedway Chevrolet, proud sponsor of Evergreen Speedway and the NASCAR Pro Late models for over 25 years.
Steve Potasic trying that high side as mentioned against the 18J. Line being covered off by Jackson Becu.
And Becu, we know, is going to make Potasic really work here. He knows how good Steve is if he can get that underneath line on him. And so I imagine you're going to see the 18 furiously defend down low and force Potasic to take the long route around. Potasic right up on the rear bumper cover of Jackson Becu, and the 39 Stuart Harding is getting even further away while those two race for second.
Yeah, he's loving this in the rear view mirror as we cross the halfway point. 16 down, 14 to go. Becu and Potasic going to keep dueling for that second place spot. But Becu's not surrendering the low line, and Potasic not having the speed we're used to use the top.
Yeah, haven't seen him really make a sustained bid up around the top yet. He has looked a couple of times and then ends up peaking back down low or tucking back down low. As we're going to rotate backwards a spot. There goes Potasic to the outside that time. We're watching Erickson and Camp through the corner, and here from the back straightaway, Camp to the inside on Erickson, and he will push forward to make the pass. Fourth place belongs to Austin Camp.
See, the 06 was alongside the 18J, falls back in line. Looks high once again down the backstretch, no can do. As Camp fully completes the pass against Erickson. 22 might try a crossover. Not sure he's going to have the speed to get to the inside of 69.
Yeah, and Potasic abandoned that run up to the high side that he had. We'd seen him to the outside of Becu out of turn number 2 in the back straightaway Cam a couple of times. It just hasn't stuck with it. He will go up there again. This time coming out of corner number 4. Puts the nose up to the numbers. Becu onto the bottom of 1 and 2. Potasic going way wide, now has the run, keeps it on the paved portion of the racetrack. Backed way out of it again though, wow. So strange, I figured he would have stuck with it, but it almost looked like he was trying to pull it back in line and tuck it back down low.
He's gotta be struggling with something in that 06 machine. So here comes 69 into the mess.
Oh,
and there
Austin
goes the 69 as he slides through turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, you see him get crossed up off the corner and having to saw the steering wheel to gather it back. Jackson Becu is running some really consistent laps here. It's a good job by the young driver of not giving up a thing to Potasic. And that's the thing, too. He's running consistent laps. Like the 18J is in the same spot on the racetrack every lap around. Now, he has completely lost touch with Stuart Harding, but as far as running consistent line goes, Becu's doing a great job.
I've seen him, when he feels that 06 fully on his outside, you can see him venture just that tiny bit higher to try and take that little bit more speed off of the 06.
Right. And you're absolutely allowed to do that because Potasic hasn't had him covered on the inside once. So, and he's given Steve enough room at the top of the track that he's not in the wall or off the racetrack. So that is part of defensive driving that is very important. You still have to give him a lane. You just can't shove him in the wall or force him up off the racetrack.
5 to go. Last time by, it'll be 4 when they make it back. The 18J, 06, and 69 all under a blanket. The 22 and the 85 may play a role in this big battle for second near the end of this one.
It's been a really good battle for second place here for about 15 laps or so, as here comes Camp coming up to the inside. The 69 is going to put his nose to the numbers on Potasic, and now, Steve, you're kind of committed to being out there. There is no fall back and fall in line anymore. He's got 3 more laps to get up and around Becu, and Becu is now going to have to think, at least for a second or two, about Camp to the inside of him coming off of turn 2.
There is the 69 right there. A little loose once again off of turn number 4. Might give a needed reprieve to the 06. Not quite, though. 2 to go. It'll be the white flag for Stuart Harding when he makes it back to the line.
1, 2, go. Stuart Harding looking to bring one home for British Columbia here on the afternoon. As Becu continuing to lead this battle with Potasic and Camp. Steve's got about as good a run as he's had, but off the gas, there he is in turn number 2. As Stuart Harding's going to take the W. 2nd, Becu gets the spot, and 3rd to Potasic. What a battle between those guys. So congratulations, first Evergreen Speedway win for Stuart Harding. And we'll talk to him at the top of the podium.
Well, Steve, back up on the podium, 3rd place tonight. That was quite the battle you had, quite defensive driving out of the 18J. Talk about what more do you think you needed to try to get around?
Well, he kind of was driving me dirty, but it's fine. I understand. Thanks to Lang Auto Sports and all you guys for coming out.
All right, we'll give it up. We'll keep it short there. 3rd place tonight for the driver of the 06, Steve Potasic. All right, Jackson, back in the car this week after you had a sub-driver last time. Talk about, that was quite the race you had to defend for most of that race with Steve coming fast behind you. Talk about what you think you needed there to hold on here for second, and if you need anything more to get to the 39.
I don't know. I didn't know we were allowed to pass under the white line. But I don't know, after the last few races we had, the last few weeks working on the car, the struggles we've had, getting dumped the last race, I don't know, it feels really good to be here.
Yeah, talk about, you guys had some problems earlier, so you guys were probably having to fix the car a lot. Talk about who helps you get this car in, week out.
Oh yeah, we had carburetor issues, starter issues. If it's not an issue, it's not a race day, right? But I got to thank Ryan Berg with Tire Pros, super big help this year with all the tires. The Osborne family, PTM, Flat Holland, Hottie Hair Lounge, my whole family, my dad for spotting, Augie and AJ for coming to the shop and helping me out even when I'm not there. Genesis Heating and Cooling. It's a hot day today. If you need an AC unit, give him a call. He can help you out. Yeah, that's really all I got.
All right, we'll give it a 2nd place tonight. Driver of the 18J, Jackson Becu. All right, Stuart, for how fast that 39 car has been, this felt like this moment was coming for most of the season. You've had some ups and downs, but you finally made it. Race winner, how does it feel to win on tonight like this?
I don't know how to feel. The car was so up and down all day, with how fast Steve is. It's unbelievable. When I got out front, I was just thinking I could secure a 2nd place, but be able to win here feels so good. I grew up in the stands right up there in that corner. I watched, dozens of races here over the years, so it's just to win at what feels like kind of my home track, with how much time I spent here, it just feels great.
Yeah, it was a good run for you guys. You built up over a 5-second gap there with everyone battling back behind you. Talk about how's this season treating you and what you are hoping to be able to do the rest of the year.
I'm just going to keep on working on my car, man. We've been working so hard on this car to try and get it to where it is. We've been getting better every week, as you guys have been seeing. It's just not gone our way with, wrecks and just bad things happening. But we're just going to keep working and hope we can come to the showdown and keep the speed and maybe try and steal another one.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out of here?
I want to thank my whole crew, you know, my grandfather, my uncle, all my friends that came with me today. I really want to thank Steve Potasic. You know, he gave us so much help the last few weeks, just getting the car where it needs to be. You know, he's been invaluable to me. So I just really appreciate what he's done for me this last few weeks. And obviously my sponsors, Harding Forklift, Harding Motorsports Supply.
All right, we'll give it up one more time for your race winner, driver of the 39, Stuart Harding.
We are live here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11 with one more Figure 8 National main event to go. The BECU Figure 8 Nationals, and a big thank you to All Ply Roofing, our sponsor here on Home Track Heroes. This are the bad boys, the baddest boys, the biggest toys, the Chain Link Express Wash Outlaw Figure 8s for 50 laps around the Figure 8 track. And on the pole, Jamie Corbett out of Arlington, A1 Auto Service Center, the 767. To his outside, the Cobalt Cycles number 35 of Haley Wilkinson from Lake Stevens. Row number 2 is the 13 Bruce Beeler out of Tacoma, the Black Thunder Transport car. And the 5-time Figure 8 National Champion, the 676 out of Arlington, sponsored by Tire Pros, the shop of Arlington. It's Ricky Dietz.
Another former winner of this race out of Tulalip, the Bulldog and Haven Northwest, 74 of Chris Curtis. Alongside the Action Machine 51, Ryan Clark out of Granite Falls. Brundage Bone Concrete Pumping is on board the 83G, another former winner. Zach Larson, the J55 of Jessica Wilkinson out of Marysville, sponsored by Pilchuck Heating and Air Conditioning, starts alongside the 83G.
The back three, Nick Holton in the 68 out of Marysville, sponsored by MCA Creations. To his outside, Dakota Wilkinson's got a bunch of feature wins here on the year in the 9 car out of Lake Stevens, Tony V's Garage, his sponsor. And Doug Wilkinson will start 11th on the field out of Lake Stevens, also a Tony V's Garage sponsored car. He runs the 25. Derek, good mix of drivers here. A lot of experience, a lot of guys looking for their first Figure 8 National title, and we are underway for 50 here in the main event of the evening.
Kicking it off with the quad box. Haley Wilkinson in the top right. Ricky Dietz on the bottom right as around goes 35. Off of the front bumper of the 676. As we're talking about, he saw it from both views there.
Haley will fire it up and tag back up to the back of the field. As everybody in chase mode, Jamie Corbett, high, wide, and handsome, and out in front here in the 767.
Bruce Beeler's number 13 gets loose, goes to the infield, allows the 51 on by, and up into third. 74 in the 83G also trying to work their way past the number 13 as Ricky Dietz pulled into the infield there, serving a penalty.
Gonna call it. The 83 of Zach Larson has been Mr. Bad Luck this year. Seems like anything that can go wrong has kind of gone wrong for him. Although throwing that race car around and working his way forward, Larson is now clear and can go pursue up ahead of him. The 74 of Curtis and the 51 of Clark, who sit third and second consecutively behind your race leader, Jamie Corbett, who was picked up and put down 3 laps fairly fast.
Notably, in that 83G, Zach Larson has picked up some success this season, but he did it in a backup car, not in that bright orange 83G we're used to. As now we've got the battle for the race lead, 767 and the 51. Warning to the 51 for that bumper and a little bit more.
Oh, Corbett serves it back. Now Larson trying to wiggle into position. It's going to be Chris Curtis, the big beneficiary. Curtis up into second. We'll see what the penalty assessed to Clark is going to be, if any.
Penalty to Corbett there.
Okay, so Corbett to the infield. There's Clark, and Curtis sitting second.
Larson chasing Curtis. Clark running in the lead right now. And there's the black flag to Clark.
So Clark's turn, and new race leader Chris Curtis with Zach Larson right on his tail. So all those shenanigans at the front of the field, and we can see that the Evergreen Speedway officiating team saying, we're not going to let for this. You guys need to play nicer here.
Well, they're going to try and put a lap here on Jessica Wilkinson. J55 moving aside. Going over the Grate of Doom there on the intersection.
So Curtis in position here, 8 laps into this, to really set the pace and hold serve for a while. Oh, Ryan Clark into the back of Doug Wilkinson. Beeler goes around, and that is Dietz who is hanging out there with him, as we are going to, I believe, get a caution flag for this one. Yes, indeed. Yellow flag is coming out. We'll take a look and see what the Seattle 11 film crew caught. Well, Ricky, you do kind of have to lift.
Yeah. Looks like Beeler saw the chaos happen in front of him, and I'm not sure Ricky did. Here's from Jamie Corbett.
Hey, 2 free spots for Jamie.
And here's from Ricky.
As there is Deeds, and to a stop, and yeah, okay. Well, that was interesting.
That's a way to start the Outlaws, I'd say.
We talked about the physicality in the division, and yeah, some bumping is fairly normal, but the amount of shoving there was out of bounds, and you saw the black flag get thrown as such. About ready to go back to action. We have to thank our division sponsor here and our segment sponsor on the show, Chain Lake Express Wash, for absolutely the best car wash ever. Treat your favorite ride to professionals at Chain Lake Express Wash in Monroe. Chain Lake Express Wash has multiple wash packages designed to meet your budget and needs. Manage your account easily on the go. You can download the Chain Lake Express Wash app from the App Store or Google Play today.
Well, field spreading out a little bit. It goes Curtis, Larson, Holton, Wilkinson, 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 Clark. As it is Dakota, Doug, and Haley in order, 4th through 6th right now. The 9, 25, and 35.
Heck, there's even a 4th Wilkinson out there in Jessica.
There is.
Yeah, literally 1/3, more than a third of the field is Wilkinson's.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
And problems for Holton.
Yeah, Holton, who was running 3rd and had come up from the back of the field.
And some off the back of the 25 might have just been fuel.
Okay. We're going to get an in-car look here on Clark. So Clark from the in-car, who is trying to climb his way back through this field. He is right on the tail end of Haley there. To the inside. Oof. Wow, a little more physical than we expected, but it is. And off goes Ryan Clark into the middle of Never Never Land.
And there is fluid coming off the 51. And the steering wheel comes off immediately. Ryan Clark knowing that's the end of that one.
Ooh. So let's take a look. We've got this angle added. You're going to watch these two lean on each other and then shoot off Ryan.
They smack in the corner. We saw that from the in-car. What on earth broke? See the sparks come off and then the fluids start coming out.
Yeah, weird. Okay, we'll see if a different angle tells a better story here. There he is, and watch the gauges too. Like, so your gauges, everything's normal. You see it, left-hand side. Lost, I'm going to say that's going to be oil pressure on the left-hand side.
Okay.
So that's an oil line that got knocked off from that in-car look. You saw that gauge go from red and blue into just straight red.
Yeah, I saw it. That's a new one for me, though.
Yeah, your two typical gauges in the cockpit of the car are going to be oil pressure and water temperature, and you don't lose that much water temperature like that. So that was oil pressure that went down, so clearly an oil line that got knocked off or whatever happened. You're welcome. This is why I get paid the big bucks as we're getting ready to go back to green flag action.
This is why I'm the color guy when he's around.
These are beautiful race cars, and the Outlaws are super complicated. I got to look at the Beeler car up close here recently. They're unlike the construction of any race car I've ever seen. But the cockpit construction of them is really weird because they're trying to move everything to the center, but gauges are gauges. That's how that works.
So we're back underway here, riding along with Dakota Wilkinson on the right side of your screen. Doug Wilkinson behind his son.
Dump him.
I promise you he's not going to treat him
come on.
like family. He's going to run him out of the way if he feels like he wants by.
Well, it is the Figure 8 Nationals. He would like to add this to the resume, right?
I think Doug would do that no matter what. He's having fun with his son.
Okay, good. I like it. Curtis leads, Larson second, Dakota is third, and does that mean Doug's sitting in the 4th spot at the moment?
That does mean
that's
Doug
a
Wilkinson.
Podium spot, Doug. Turn him around. It'll be great. 15 laps into this and 35 to go.
There's a lot of time. He'll let him know he wants by when he wants by. Doug can be a patient man.
Well, it is him who has to pay the bill when he goes to fix it, right?
Yeah, he's running, I believe, James Conley's Outlaw Figure 8.
Oh, no, he'll pay the bill on Dakota's car when it needs. If he turns around and smashes him.
I got the flapping. Oh, wow. All right. That's
Jamie Corbett with a shower of sparks and some steam coming off, and yeah, his hands out of the cockpit saying, "Hey guys, I'm in
Please
the
don't
water
hit me."
here." So around, and the way
that's the right rear gone.
Yeah, the way that snapped, that's a funky looking. Let's see if we can get a better look at it. Oh yeah, big old sparks.
It's just gone. He's spinning already because it's already gone.
Around the corner and to a stop for Corbett in the 767. This has been a wild start to the Outlaw Figure 8A main event. We'll finish it off when we come back here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Well, we are under caution and coming back to green here. Final segment of the night on Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. And a big thank you to our show sponsor, All Ply Roofing. I'm Caleb Hart. He is Derek Todoroff. These are the BECU Figure 8 Nationals. Somebody shoots right back onto the racetrack.
Jamie Corbett.
Come into the green flag. Holy cow. Well, that's one way to get a run on him. I think I just would have waited until he came to the green flag and then made the shot.
Well, he's trying to stay on the lead lap here in that 767.
Wouldn't if he had just come out of the pit area at the back of that line, been on the lead lap?
Assumably, but
okay.
You know, he wanted to make it interesting.
Bad logic is bad logic. As Doug Wilkinson's in-car camera is showing you the restart here. Well done, Jamie. I appreciate the gumption of trying to do that. That was awesome.
Hey, speaking of, Doug Wilkinson got by Dakota on that restart.
Did he rough him up?
I mean, we were following in the in-car camera. I didn't see him rough him up.
I hope he roughed him up. Just for, do that
Just
thing.
For fun?
Yeah, why not? I'm an agent of chaos myself.
I get it.
Yeah.
I can understand.
This has been the battle up front for almost the duration of this. It didn't take Chris Curtis long to get to the front of this field thanks to the aggressive driving that happened early in this main event. And Zach Larson has been chasing him. Doug Wilkinson, now your third place car, is Ricky Dietz and Haley Wilkinson nearly making contact. This is not quite been the Figure 8 Nationals that Ricky was looking forward to, but he is still out there. He's still got a chip in a chair and a chance to do something here in the late race.
Looks like he's running fifth right now. It has Dakota between him and Doug. Driver running third.
With the field the way it is, Curtis is in a really good position here that he'll be able to manage the intersection quite nicely and kind of take this all on one at a time, you think?
Yeah, that's the luxury of building a little gap is you don't need to slam on the brakes. You can just let off the accelerator a little bit if you want to open up a gap for yourself in the intersection. But not sure how soon he'll need to worry about that.
We were talking during the break on Curtis. He is the fabricator. This is a home-built car for Chris, as a lot of these Outlaws actually are, but he knows his stuff top to bottom on it as well as anybody does. Curtis, what is it? It's him, Clark, and
the Holtons.
And the Holtons that get together on these cars. So
I'm busy trying not to laugh at the flapping hood on this 25 machine.
Oh, yeah. Well,
How did that happen? The bumper doesn't have any problems, but the hood is flapping.
Proper rivet application is hard.
That's such a weird bend.
Well, okay, could very well be that it knocked it off the hood pin. There's a post with a little metal pin that comes up that you run a cotter through, and if that bends, it can come out of the hole and, go flapping in the breeze. Make sense? I see steam coming out your ears. Forward we go to the battle between Ricky Dietz
I don't know
and
what a
Dakota
cotter
Wilkins.
is.
I have so much to teach you.
It's a region of Scotland, I can tell you that from Macbeth.
That is absolutely nothing to do with the race car.
I'm sure of that.
Wilkinson and Dietz getting after it for position 4 as Curtis just continuing to pace this exactly how he likes. He will come up on drivers side by side for position, though. That's a worst case scenario for Curtis, but he's got enough room between him and Larson that if he can get through that without hesitating, he should be just fine.
But as we follow along from Zach Larson's in-car camera, you can see how much of that gap does shrink with him having to get by this lap traffic.
Yep, and at the point where he picks it apart, the gap has already been punched for Larson to come through. So Larson's going to sneak right underneath Beeler here and should have opportunity. No, Beeler ran him hard. Now Larson has to take the long way around the corner. So Curtis still trying to keep that pad. He's in behind Haley Wilkinson now. And if he can get past Haley quickly, has a chance to rebuild. There's Larson trying to run him down. You see him just sneaking in the left side of the picture.
You see Curtis trying a couple of different ways to get around the 35. He's feigning high, trying low. He's trying to outbrake the 35 and poke the nose of the inside.
There it is.
And a little bit of a bump, I think, helped him along there, but, you know, that's figure eight racing.
Yep, we're used to seeing that shot right at corner entry and then right maybe at the apex to try to send him a little wide at the exit to get underneath him, and that's the exact technique that Curtis used right there to get past Haley Wilkinson. And now Wilkinson right in the lane in front of Larson. We'll see how Larson chooses to attack here. He's got a big path underneath.
He just slides straight under.
Yeah, Haley took that corner way too wide. And Zach, thank you very much. And on by he goes. Father-daughter now?
Yeah.
All right. Doug Wilkinson coming up. And, you know, what's good for the goose, Derek, is good for the gander. If I was encouraging him to wreck Dakota to get by him, I should encourage him to wreck Haley to get by her.
I think Haley might have let the door open a little for Doug as he appears to have gone on by.
Very smart by her and avoids the wreckage. We need to thank All Ply Roofing. All Ply Roofing, is your roof keeping up with all the weather washing and dishes out? You call All Ply Roofing for a free estimate at allplyroofing.com. Your residential and commercial roofing team, that is All Ply Roofing. They have been our title sponsor here on Home Track Heroes all year long. This wouldn't be possible without them. And again, for whatever your roof needs, call them up, All Ply Roofing.
So Curtis, Larson, and Doug Wilkinson, your top three. Watching the battle for fourth right here. Dakota Wilkinson and Ricky Dietz. Dakota going to have the inside lane. Tags the 676.
Ooh, nice save, Ricky, though.
Hey, Ricky loves a loose car. I'm sure he's savoring the chance to try that out.
And your race leader now having to deal with a little intersection traffic as those guys were battling, and Chris Curtis nearly took one in the quarter panel from Ricky Dietz, who is all gas, no brakes, and trying to soak up the gap between him and Doug Wilkinson now.
As Larson had to slam on the brakes to avoid Beeler, that's going to allow Curtis to get further away, and more importantly, Doug Wilkinson to close in on the 83G.
Yeah, Wilkinson has made up some ground on Larson, and Larson's car pushing a little bit in places around the racetrack. Doug still with pretty good handling mount. With 9 laps to go, is looking to advance and maybe pick up second here in the Outlaw Figure 8 National Main.
Now, these drivers have told me in the past, you're making your decision at the apex of these corners. What are you going to do? Waiting any later, you risk second guessing yourself or making that choice just a little too late. They have to make the call as soon as possible. Are you going or are you slowing when it comes to the intersection?
And I wonder if you've got a little bigger window for opportunity here in the Outlaws just because of how peppy the throttle is, and especially with the slick tire that they have moved to this year that is getting their power down to the ground better. I wonder if that window for that decision making is widened a little bit.
All right, we're following two battles. On the left side of your screen, it's Ricky Dietz and Dakota Wilkinson. On the right, it's Doug Wilkinson closing in on Zach Larson as around goes the 676.
Ooh, Ricky, that's not going to make him super thrilled as he'll put on a smoke show coming out of the corner right in front of your leader. Dangerous for Chris Curtis, but for Curtis, he now gets a lap on Ricky Dietz, and that's big.
I think Chris Curtis has done this before in that 74. Waited until that 676 was up to speed, and in the corner, gave him a little bit of a bump, as is figure eight racing, and slid underneath.
It'll be down to 3 laps to go the next time. It has been a masterful drive from Chris Curtis as he will sneak underneath Beeler and make the pass. Curtis, 3 to go. Looking good out in front, looking for what would be figure eight national win number 3 for him.
Yep, 3 to go in pursuit of win number 3 in this race. Know how much that would mean to Chris Curtis in that number 74. 2 to go now. 3 more trips through the intersection.
Watch how well that car is squatting down through the corner and getting its drive down to its tires when he picks it up. Right there, you can almost see the front end lift up a little, the back end dive down as he gets real into that throttle, rolling through the corner. This has been a fantastic show from Chris Curtis, and he is going to pick up Figure 8 National win at number 3. One more left-hand corner. Curtis is the winner here tonight.
Zach Larson going to come around and dodge the spinning 676 to finish second. Doug Wilkinson in third. As here is Chris Curtis celebrating, burning it down here in the center of the intersection. Oh, I think he's going to, oh, is he just doing donuts around Ricky? Nah, he's having fun. Got to take it around the North Pole.
That would be a special, different level of rub it in, would it not? Here, just stay parked there. I'll do donuts around you. Just saying.
And he's going to nose it into the Uke tire to finish off the donut.
Oh, well, he's about to get a big old check, a big old trophy, and a championship belt from Randy Hood Promotions. So it'll all be worth it. Congratulations to Chris Curtis. Let's hear from him and the entirety of the top 3 on the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Doug, first race of the season out here at Evergreen Speedway, piloting that number 25. Come on with the podium. How you feeling?
Not bad considering we just picked up the car Monday. It's James Conley's car and Cowboys.
Now you put together that 25, slapped the old body on it, put on quite the show out there. Who would you like to thank for your performance?
Basically James Conley and John Carlson and my wife and Bubba and all of our friends that help out. And Dakota, he worked on it more than he did his own.
Driver the number 25, third place tonight, Doug Wilkinson. Well, Zach, I know you were worried about your luck during the pill draw. Didn't go your way then. This time around, felt like the Red Seas parted at times for you. You make your way up to second place. How you feeling?
Yeah, we were able to get a couple decent breaks where we were just able to get through some stuff and got through the field and got behind Chris, and he had a fast car tonight, so it was just hard to get to him and stay with him.
What more do you think you needed to get to him?
I just got to work on my setup a little bit. We'll find something.
It's been an exciting season so far. Looking forward to more battles between you guys. Who would you like to thank for tonight?
I got to thank Brunchbone Concrete Pumping, S&S Rentals, and Tech Equipment, and Gunnerston Speed Shop for everything they do, and the car owner, Paul Peterson.
Driver the number 83G, Zach Larson, second place tonight. Chris, your family's here with you, but here you are, 4 years removed from the second one, 8 years removed from the first one. How does it feel to pick up number 3?
Oh man, I'm telling you, this team's been working so hard to get these cars fast, and I'm telling you, we got it tonight. This thing was on rails tonight, and couldn't ask for a better car, a better team. You know, I couldn't do it without them. It's amazing. We had a great car tonight, and thankfully it paid off when we got through all the carnage and all that, so it was really nice.
You joined some pretty elite company with your third Figure 8 Nationals win, including Vern Dietz, Greg Scott. It's got to feel pretty good to really etch your name into history books like that.
Man, it really does. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and finally to see what's come about, and you know, I'm getting old now to all these youngsters. These youngsters are getting faster and faster, and you know, it's getting harder, and but that's okay. I'm still pulling it, and I'm going to continue to do it till I can't.
Who's helping you keep going?
Oh, I'm telling you, we got Bulldog Haven Northwest. We got Thermaltech powder coating. We got, oh man, Bud Barton's Glass. They're amazing. MCA Creations. My family, my dad, Jerry and Steve Boney especially, they own this car right now, and I'm telling you, I couldn't ask for a better package to drive.
Driver of the number 74, your 2025 Outlaws Figure 8 Nationals champion, Chris Curtis.
Well, Derek, congrats to all 3 of our Figure 8 Nationals winners. They all earned it. That was a fantastic night of Figure 8 racing.
Oh, good as always.
Appreciate them coming out and entertaining us here on Home Track Heroes. Next week on Home Track Heroes, the top Tire Pros Pro Late Model Summer Shootout. They're going 100 times around the 3/8 mile. That should be a bunch of fun. We'll also have the Super Late Model Heat Races from the Summer Showdown coming up and more. That is next Sunday coming up here on Home Track Heroes. The next time you can come to Evergreen Speedway, it is the Thunder and Lightning of the Wing Sprint cars. It is the Granite Cup for the Wing Sprints, paying $10,000 to win. That is Saturday, August the 2nd here at Evergreen Speedway. For Derek Todoroff, DT on TV, the Hobbses for putting this all together, and our Seattle 11 crew, my name is Caleb Hart. We will see you next Sunday night here once again on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.